She's just kind of taking care of him right now at the moment. So I'm gonna be on the call for you guys for tonight. But you should definitely look forward to hearing her next week. She does feel bad about not being able to give you guys the time that you guys would like for these calls, but we're just gonna roll with the punches and move forward. I'm gonna take a few questions at the end, like I always do. I do have a trade that isn't potentially ready for you guys for tonight. Within the next 30 to an hour, it should be ready. I already broke a structure. So we'll go over that trade. We'll also go over another trade. And I'll take about 5 questions at the end because you guys like to ask questions. And I know I love to ask questions when I was in the learning process. So we'll just move forward from there. All right. So for tonight, and don't mind me, guys, I'm a little tired. I went hiking yesterday. I live upstate New York, and I live in the mountains. So I usually go hiking on the weekends, and I ain't been hiking in a while. And darn hike took my legs out. I'm over here walking around limping. My mom asking me what's wrong with me, making fun of me. So I'm just barely. I'm still a little tired. All right, but we're gonna go over GU for the week. We have a sale. It's actually setting up beautifully right now. I have a major structure that was broken. So for anybody, because I know people take trades on this call. So what I'm going to tell you is wait for this 15-minute structure to break. It actually already broken. We were kind of anticipating it to break. Me and Jess on a call earlier talking about it. Trying to see what we're going to give you guys for the night. And you have divergence here, and I already have an alert. So my alert already went off. I'm just waiting for a retest of this area. I do have it potentially pushing up to this area. So this is when you have multiple confluences, it just makes it more the trading a lot more. You're expected for the trade to go in a direction when you have multiple confluences. So what we do, we have this trade coming up to this potential resistance area, and then dropping overall to our negative 27% on our major structure, right? So if you understand structure as a trader, you understand that 2 points in a direction give you a trend line. We wait for the break and retest of a trend line, then followed by the entry point. So what we have here is we have our 0.1, 0.2, which gives me this 30-minute trend line right here. This is just the time frame I seen this trend line on, so I took it on the 30. Some people might have seen it on the 1 hour, which is cool. In a sense, you just have to remember where you are and what time frames you're taking these trades off of. That's very important as you look at these charts, right? Or you mark up your charts. We have a clear area of resistance, which is my blue, which is a 1 hour. And what we understand is that price is consolidating around this area. So your higher time frame, you can expect consolidation. So this area is letting me know why it's consolidating, right? So we're trading between the higher time frames on the lower time frame. I don't want to confuse you guys, but my blue is my higher time frame, which is my 1, and then my black trend lines are my 30. All right. I'm just trying to give you the way I think about the market and how I look at it, my outlook on it. As I enter the market, and it gives me more confidence to pull the trigger when I do see a trade that I'm very comfortable in. I had entered this trade GU last Thursday, so I'm already in this trade in this area. We had a minor. This is like a minor structure. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to kind of take you guys off the rail. Which, if you're not on that learning curve, because you do have to start from a higher time and work your way down, because you can get lost in structure. I've been lost. Trust me, you can get lost. And I don't want to dig you guys any deeper holes than you need to. So, but there was a pre-entry over here for anybody who's very advanced. You understand what I'm saying? But if you did happen to miss this entry, you have a potential entry that's happening right now as we speak. We see prices pulling down. We have these 2 points going in the same direction. We have a break. We're waiting for the retest of this area, which is this trend line. You can move your trend line out a little more if you think you're going to miss it, but 9 times out of 10, this is going to come up this area, retest it, and drop. But just wait for your confirmations, all right? Confirmations is key. And they're there. If you just be patient with the market is going to give you what you need. Gold, I'm going to go over gold as well. I don't have too many pairs to go over this week. I don't really see too much. But for the overall bias or what I see for the week is I have an overall 1 hour trend line that has been broken. So now that I have the major structure broken, I'm going to go down to my smaller structure, look for an overall structure that needs to be broken. And the crazy part is there are two structure breaks on the same structure trend line. And I don't want to confuse you, but it does happen from time to time, right? So we have this overall impulse correction impulse, which is just 2 points. As you can see, I have a black trend line, which is my 30, as I said before, and I have a third point here, right? So we also have a third trend line. So overall, I'm going to let this push down on my higher time frame and get a little more confirmation from my one. But while I'm waiting for my higher time frames to play out, I'm going to catch the money that's a little closer on the 30-minute, because we know that that's going to play out. The 30 is going to play out before the one, and your 15 will play out before your 30 and your 1 hour, as far as structure wise, right? So I'm looking for, I have the impulse correction already. We have an overall sell on gold. I want gold to come back down to this 1 hour structure, and that lines up perfectly already, because as you can see, the negative 61% lines up with your overall 1 hour. So that just lets you know that price is potentially going to go to this area. There was already an entry given prior Thursday. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm just sitting and waiting. Now, if price does happen to, because now we have this beautiful area right here, right? Which is a potential. Price can push back up, but I need for a few things to happen, right? If price breaks and retests and gives me confirmation after my break and retest, then I'll get in for the buy, at least up to this previous area of resistance, right? And then we'll continue that sell on that overall 30 or 1 hour fib, whatever way you look at it. You just have to know where you are in the market. And that's just how I see it on my 30-minute for the time being, right? So we can have a potential pushback up, or price can just literally drop from this area. But we first need, because you guys all know how Jess teaches, your break and retest strategy, right? Distance is price. All right. I'm sorry, I'm reading a message at the group chat, but somebody's just talking out there behind right now. All right. So that's what I have for gold. Let's see what else I have for you guys for today. I already made my money on EJ, already played out. But we could talk about EJ for a second, because EJ is beautiful. And we're gonna talk about top-down analysis for a second, because that's a key component in how you can set yourself up for success down the road. You know, so when you're going through the day-to-day and you're not really worried about your higher time frames as far as your monthly, your weekly, and or your daily, having that top-down analysis preset. I usually not delete my charts, but I usually do a top-down analysis for my major overall structure about once every 3 months, every quarter, just because it refreshes what's going on in the higher time frames. I see if anything else has happened new, where I am, and then I work my way back, and I just stay amongst the smaller time frames, just because, you know, that's where I work from my day-to-day basis. But if we look here, this bigger purple area is a weekly, right? So that's a huge time frame. That lets me know price is going to sit there for a second. It's not going to pull away too fast. There's going to be the consolidation around these areas. Like, this lets me know that when I entered down here for this buy, I knew 9 times out of 10 I was going towards this higher time frame. Like, so I just held this entire move, even though my TP was here. I just held, because some things you just know as you get better with time, and you know your charts, and you learn how the market really works and the structure and the flow of everything. You just get the confidence to hold overall. And plus, we have this ultimate impulse correction impulse. So I knew that this had to play out as well, which gave me my negative 27%. So it was just multiple confluences that just line up together. Even without this fib, you know, you have this area that you can see on your smaller time frame, even though it is a bigger time frame trend line, that you just know that it's like a magnet. Price is going to be pulled toward these higher time frames the closer they get to them, right? So we're pretty close. It's seen on this 30. So we know that it's going to go toward this area. But we had this beautiful area. We had this channel formed, and I'm waiting for the break.
Can I ask a question?
No problem.
You said you hold it that whole time. Do you move your stop loss up as you hold, or are you just holding it and keeping your original stop loss? Sorry for interruption.
No, stop. No, that's cool. That's a great question. I move my stop loss as it moves up. So I go to the previous low or high. Well, this for this example, I'm moving it below the previous low, right? So we have high lows, high lows. So once we hit this negative 61%, my original stop loss was down here. Then I moved it up here, and then I moved with the market, right? But once we got around here, I kind of just kept my stop loss down here because it wasn't too clear. And I just left the stop loss. It was a big stop loss, but it is what it is. And I just kind of rolled it up to this area and I pulled it once I got up here. All right.
Thank you.
But we had no problem at all, man. We had the break of this trend line. So once we got a break and retest, we look for entry. Right now, it already gave a small entry on a smaller time frame. But we had the break and entry, have beautiful wick exhaustion, which Jess always talks about and tells you guys. So we have beautiful wick exhaustion that lets you know this is going to the downside. Price can potentially, because once again, this is a higher time frame, right? So price has the potential to push up one more time, coming back to this area before an overall drop, right? And then we'll just wait for confirmations. Once we get confirmations, then we'll definitely pull the trigger for a sell. But I have EJ going for a potential sell after my confirmations do play out. GJ is another great trade for the week. I have GJ in a potential sell as well. So it's great when things line up together, right? So we have Euro JPY, and then we have GBP JPY, and they're both potential sells, right? So for Euro, you do have a potential push up, but doesn't mean just because I wanted to push up doesn't mean it's going to push up. But they're both lining up for sales with that Japanese yen at the end, knowing that they move and sync. And when I have two pairs that line up perfectly, it just gives me more confirmation. So you guys see, not only do we use chart confirmation, but we also use our pairs to give us extra confirmation as well, to give us a better analysis and bias if we're comfortable to get into these trades. It just makes it a lot easier for us, right? But let's go back to what I was talking about for GJ. I'm sitting on this area of resistance and support, which is resistance, support, now turn resistance. I'm waiting for a break retest of this trend line. Once I get a confirmation, then I'll go in for that sell, and take it to the nearest TP, which is negative 27%. I do anticipate for price to push up one more time, hit this trend line, then potentially break and retest. But I'm just waiting for the confirmation. Once I get my confirmation, I'll be a lot more comfortable to pull the trigger. Price. But I'm reading a message real quick, right? Any more time frames? As you're entering, my entry is your all right.
Is it just me or did we lose sound?
No. I was reading a message. I do apologize. And then that's about it for tonight, guys. That's all I have for you guys.
Can I ask a question?
Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna take 5 questions for tonight, right?
Can you say the entry thing one more time?
Your 15-minute? Yeah. So we wait for a break and retest. Everything is break and retest, right? That's how we trade. That's the kind of traders we are. We wait for a push away of structure and then a pullback to the trend line for an entry point. All right, but there was a long lady had a question before you.
So my question was, you said like another confluence is having GJ and EJ, they both go down. But then you also have like GU going down. But because
Right.
I guess because the USD is the ending pair, so that's how you pair them up. Because normally, like,
Yeah.
they will go the opposite direction, or like how GU it'll go down, but the DXY is going up.
But if GU's, you said GU's going down, but yes, so that works because if the DXY is going up, that's the dollar. That means the dollar is getting stronger. And if GU is going down, that means the dollar on the GU, because the US dollar is strong, it's pulling the GU down, right? So that's perfect coordination. That's exactly what you want, because if the dollar is getting strong, it's like a seesaw. If like basically you $1 eating right now, and GJ is starving, so of course the heavier side is going to push the market towards the ground, which is, in this comparison, GU is the heavier, US dollar is a heavier side, so it pushes down. Did that answer your question and make sense?
Yeah, I guess I was just confused because I don't trade the JPY pairs, but
Right.
GJ and EJ going down, is that like a confluence with GU? Like GU was going down too?
Not necessarily, no. I use
No.
no, not
Separate
necessarily,
those.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool.
I have 3 more questions.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So going back to gold, you share where you expect to break and retest if the price were to continue to push up, but for if price were to push down, where would you be looking for that break and retest? Because they're kind of like 2 lower lows previously, like the immediate low and then the one where you have that other trend line. So just curious as to where you'd be looking for a break and retest to enter for the sale on down to the TP levels.
Okay, so
because I kind of feel like I see more of like a support and resistance zone rather than like a clear place where I expect a break and retest for the sale. So would I be looking for a break and retest on the support and resistance zone, or more so like a specific price point?
Okay, so you're looking for structure. So structure is looking for the break of structure, right? So we have impulse correction. Impulse, what you're looking for, the break and retest of the trend line, right? So the trend line is what you're looking for.
But not for the buy up. So like for like if we were going in for the sale.
Oh, gold is already done. Gold is, you already missed that entry as far as for the most part.
Okay, so if there were a break and retest on the support and the supply and demand zone to go down to the TP1 and TP2 levels, you would say that's already been missed?
In a sense, yes, but then I don't. Once the price gets to a certain area, and I have, because you just know certain things, so I wouldn't play around with it if it broke retest here and go for a sell. That's just me, because once again, the market is unpredictable. Yes, we are great traders and we catch our trades, but once again, anything is possible. This is reality. So I wouldn't enter that low at that point. You would just wait for another setup.
Okay, so I'm a scalper, so I'm usually in and out like 50 pips. So like, see how far down TP2 is. I see there could be entry points, but you're saying to stay away.
I never shoot for TP2. TP2 is never guaranteed on a TP1.
Okay.
How do you determine your change in delivery or market structure shift? Do you look for that in like a premium? And if it's in a premium, do you go short, or do you wait for it to be in a discount to go long?
Premium, you come in with different things. Okay, so you wait. Once again, you must be new to this call. I've never been on this call before. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I am new. I'm just trying to.
Omar, I actually.
Hey, there was a little.
I got the
Jess
baby. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dominus.
Yeah, I was about to tell them about there was a mistake in the posting of the link, so the call has possibly open to people who normally wouldn't be in. So if we could curb the rest of the questions, that would be cool.
Yes, please. Omar, I accidentally sent the Zoom link inside of the big chat because was in my arms at the time, and I was just doing too much at once. And everybody who's in the course, y'all's link is about to change. So next week it's gonna be a whole new link. I just got a lot going on right now. Okay, but so sorry. So yeah, you can curve the questions like Dominic said.
All right. Yeah, that was the last one anyway. So perfect. All righty, guys. So for the students, you know what you're looking for. So I'm gonna go over the last pair and just to let you know a recap of what's going on. GU, we already have that break. We're waiting for that retest. Price is pushing down beautifully, so this pull-up will be gorgeous for entry for today. And then just carry that down to TP1. I think that's a nice little setup right there. Yeah, that's 138 pips. That's a great week. I'm done after that. I don't even touch charts after that. So you guys know what you're looking for. And I'm gonna end it at that, guys, and have a great evening.
And everybody just know I miss y'all. Okay. I really do. And even when I can't be fully present with y'all, I'm still always on these calls, like listening in, making sure y'all okay and stuff like that. Automated students know next week is the first Monday of the month. So we definitely tapping in like we do all the time. All right. And I just put Legend in a different room. So I'm about to go check back on my baby. So I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Thank you.
Bye, Jess.